Welcome to Smart Stock Watch, your go-to channel for in-depth financial analysis. Today is February 4th, 2026, and we're diving into Mondelēz International's recently released Q4 and full year 2025 earnings report. Joining us is John, senior analyst from Smart Stock Watch. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Mondelēz International, a leader in the snacking industry with iconic brands like Oreo and Cadbury, has just released their earnings report, and there's a lot to unpack.
Revenue and profitability overview. Let's start with the top line. Mondelēz International reported net revenues of $10.5 billion for Q4 2025, a 9.3% increase from the previous year. John, can you break down these numbers for us?
Absolutely. The company saw a 5.1% growth in organic net revenue, driven by higher net pricing despite a decline in volume mix. However, the gross profit margin decreased significantly to 28.2%, primarily due to unfavorable changes in commodity and currency derivatives.
And what about their operating income?
The operating income margin for Q4 was 9.1%, down from the previous year. This was largely impacted by higher input costs and unfavorable product mix, although there were some gains from higher pricing and cost efficiencies.
EPS performance and analyst expectations. Moving on to earnings per share, Mondelēz reported an adjusted EPS of 72 cents for Q4, which is above the forecasted 70 cents by analysts. John, what does this tell us?
This is a positive sign. The adjusted EPS grew by 10.8% on a constant currency basis, indicating that despite the challenges, Mondelēz managed to exceed expectations. This was achieved through strategic pricing and cost management, which helped offset some of the headwinds they faced.
Cash flow and shareholder returns. Let's talk about cash flow. Mondelēz reported $4.5 billion in operating cash flow and $3.2 billion in free cash flow for the full year. How did they manage to return $4.9 billion to shareholders?
That's right. Mondelēz has been very active in returning capital to shareholders through dividends and share repurchases. Their strong cash flow generation, despite the challenging environment, allowed them to maintain a robust capital return strategy.
Strategic initiatives and future outlook. Looking ahead, what are Mondelēz's strategic priorities for 2026?
The company is focusing on sustainable growth through improved volumes, brand investments, and structural cost savings. CEO Dirk Van de Put emphasized their plans to stabilize cocoa costs and leverage their market scale and iconic brands to drive shareholder value.
And what does their financial outlook look like?
For 2026, Mondelēz expects organic net revenue growth to be flat to 2% and adjusted EPS growth to be flat to 5% on a constant currency basis. They also anticipate a free cash flow of approximately $3 billion.